I was working with a writer this week who is developing a brand new book idea. She's in the enviable position of having a publisher and an editor at that publishing company who just loves her work and constantly wants her to write new books. So they came up with an idea and said, "Can you give us a proposal?" So to start that process, she sketched out a few ideas on a couple pages and sent them to me. She and I have worked through my blueprint process many times, so she's very good at it. And she was able to capture the key elements of this idea in just these few pages. And she sent it my way. So, what I did as a book coach is I looked through that and I saw that there was some holes in logic and that the flow she had proposed was a little bit funky. So, I proposed rearranging a few things and then sent it back to her. And she wrote me this email and she said, "How did you do that? That is miraculous. I don't understand your superpower. I couldn't see that to save my life. What you did was perfect. It made it so much better. Thank you so much." And I had to just laugh because the reason that I was able to do that is simply that I am not her. I am not the creator. I am not the writer. A book coach is somebody who comes from the outside and looks at the work without the emotional attachment to it or the experiential attachment to it. I haven't taught this material for years. I haven't been immersed in this field for years. I'm able to just look at it and see what an average reader would be able to see or know. Now, I'm very well trained in how to do that, so I can do it fast and quickly and well. But the fact of the matter is that I am providing an outside brain that helps that writer in a way that they can't help themselves. And there's a book that I love that captures this philosophy called Think Again by Adam Grant. Adam Grant is a wildly popular organizational psychologist who studies the way people work and interact and how we approach work and what workplaces are like in modern times. And he's a big thinker. And Think Again is a book about the power of questioning your own opinions and how most really innovative thinkers are not people who are set in stone on what they believe. They're people who can look at things from different angles and look at it again and think again about what they thought and change their minds and come at it from a different place than maybe they've come at it their whole life. And this concept is at the root of what I did with that writer, this think again concept. I'm bringing that function to this writer's work, that second thought or that second idea to this writer's work. And if a writer is open to being coached, if they're open to having somebody look at their work and poke holes in it or see the places where the logic falls down, then I can do that work so easily with them because I'm fulfilling that function. Now, if somebody is not open to that, they're probably not going to come to a book coach. They're probably not going to want to be coached because you have to be willing to have somebody say, "Well, hey, what about that? Or is this a better way? Or is that what you really meant? Or how can we make this better?" It's that interactive questioning from a coach that makes the writing so much better. So I love this idea of that Grant proposes in Think Again, both because it describes what a coach is doing for the writer, but it also helps me as a thinker and a coach and a business person to it gives me a framework for growth as well. I'm constantly learning about the publishing industry, about how to run a business, a better business, about what my clients need, about what the coaches that I'm training need. And if I don't have the ability to think again, I'm going to be lost. There are so many times when I think something is going to work, a product or a service that I decide to offer, a course that I decide to do, or a marketing campaign, or whatever it is. And I have to preserve that ability to think again because if it doesn't work or if it doesn't go the way I thought, I have to think, well, why? What could I do differently? How could I approach this in a different way? How can we look at this in with new eyes? And that whole concept of questioning our beliefs or questioning our things that we thought were foundational, things that we were standing upon and looking at it again and in a different way is just such a critical skill to have. And Think Again, the book, gives us a way to think about that, to approach that, and to be aware of ourselves when we're not doing that, when we're being rigid in our thinking. And so I just love this whole idea of this book, and I love this book for coaches, because when you're running a business and you're helping writers, you have to iterate and try again and again and again. And they have to when they're writing something. Writing is a fully iterative process, and we're in that circular path with them. Is this better? Can we do it more? Can we go deeper? Is this draft, closer to what you envisioned with this book? That kind of thinking is what we're bringing to the writer. So if we are able to sharpen that skill in ourselves, we can be a better book coach. And that's always a thing that we want to try to be.